Okay, so I want to rant, but before I do, I want to talk about how the third trimester has been going. So I think I'm going to make this into 2 parts because I feel like I have a lot of information to share and I don't want the video to be like too long. So I'm going to do, I think, a part 1 for my 3rd trimester recap and a part 2. So this is going to be part 1. So before I get into ranting though, some updates about the 3rd trimester so far. So where did I leave off in the last video? It's been going pretty good up until like last week, and that's kind of what the rant is about. But the tiredness, like the exhaustion, is like on a different level now than my 2nd trimester. They usually call the 2nd trimester like the honeymoon stage of pregnancy, and it totally was for me. Like my morning sickness eased up a little bit, and I felt, you know, pretty good, and I was able to do my exercising and all of that stuff. But yeah, this 3rd trimester I have been really tired and just really like not having that much energy at all. So I haven't been doing the exercising, and also my morning sickness is back, so that's been you know, kind of an issue. So I get really sick, or I feel like really nauseous, or most nauseous during the afternoon. So from like 3 to 5, 3 to 6, that's when I feel nauseous, and it's like every single day. So that has been a problem. And you know, I still try to eat lunch and snacks and stuff, but usually I have to lay down in the afternoon just so I can make it, you know, throughout the day. So I haven't been exercising as much. I'm 35 weeks today, so I really only have like a month to go, which is exciting. And I'm not like bored or anything. I'm just more like just, you know, waiting for the time to pass, like more anxious, I guess I should say, you know, to see the baby, meet the baby, and all of that stuff. Like I have a ton of stuff to do, but I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do anything, and yet, you know, if I do stuff, then it kind of makes the day go by faster. So that's been good. Morning sickness. I've started my my labor prep, so and this video will already be out by time, well, not this video, but the labor prep video will already be out by the time this one comes out. So I started my labor prep video, which is me bouncing on the exercise ball 30 to 40 minutes every single night, pretty much until baby is born, and drinking a cup of red raspberry leaf tea every single day. And it worked tremendously, I feel like, with my last 2 pregnancies and births. So that's what I'm going to do again this time. You know, and hopefully it will be just even better than last time. Let me see if there's anything else to update on for the 3rd trimester. Tiredness, exercise, morning sickness, just, you know, irritable. Yeah, I'm just ready to have this baby, but I do want to make it to full term, which will be 39 weeks. So that is March 1st for me. And I'm hoping I make it there. Like I said in my last video, I've cut out pretty much all caffeine. I do drink like chais, and there is caffeine in them. I think it's some of them, or the one that I get from ShopRite that I really love. It does have a little bit of caffeine because it's green tea based. But yeah, I have not been eating any ham, no coffee, no teas, pretty much. So I've just been trying to keep that my caffeine consumption really low. Blood pressure and everything has been good. Baby's still head down, and I believe baby is engaged in my pelvis, because I just feel like baby is really, really low, and I can feel the baby's head down there and a certain movement. So like getting in and out of the bed, and like sit in a certain way, I can literally feel the baby's head down there. So, you know, that's really good. Obviously that's a good sign if you're trying to have a vaginal birth, but it's like, ugh, I got 4 more weeks of this. And I remember last time it just got so unbearable. Like, everything hurt. Sitting hurt, standing hurt, laying down hurt, sleeping hurt. So I'm not looking forward to that per se, but I am, you know, I am glad that the baby is already head down and whatnot. These people are driving crazy out here. We just had a snowstorm and they did not do a good job at doing these roads at all. Anywho, I'm running some errands right now. I'm just dropping off books at the library. I would get the kids some more books right now, but I don't feel like going in there. I don't feel like going in there. I don't feel like looking. So that's gonna have to wait until another time. But what was I saying? Okay, I think that's all that I have to say for the 3rd trimester, I think. Yeah, so like I said, I'm 35 weeks and I just came from the hospital. Okay, so last week I had a growth scan. Now, I've been having growth scans for this pregnancy just because I have a history of IUGR, which is intrauterine growth restriction. So that's when the baby's growing smaller than normal, and also because I have a history of preeclampsia for my first pregnancy. So, you know, they're just keeping a little bit more eye on me. I am considered high risk. This is my 4th pregnancy. So last Thursday, I had a growth scan and everything was measuring fine, but the baby's abdomen. So they said that that's measuring smaller than all the other body parts. So like the limbs are right on track, head is on track, arms, everything like that's on track, but the baby's stomach is smaller. So it puts the baby in about the 7th percentile, even though everything else was measuring like 35 percentile, my last growth scan, which was in December. So they diagnosed me with IUGR for this pregnancy, which means that now, or they recommended that I come in 2 times a week for Doppler. So that's to check the blood flow to the baby. So like the placenta health, you know, just to make sure there's no issues there. And also to have weekly, or they want me to do twice weekly NSTs, which is a non-stress test. So that's where you're hooked up to a machine for about 20 minutes and they check the baby's fetal movement. So after the growth scan, after they got all the numbers back and all of that, I did have to do an NST last week. And like I said, the doctor came in and they wanted me to do them twice weekly. But so far this pregnancy has been going great. Like this baby's movement is just excellent. And I haven't had any issues with my blood pressure. Now I know preeclampsia can come on suddenly. That's what happened with my daughter, but she was diagnosed with IUGR from 20 weeks on. So from 20 weeks they saw that there, you know, she wasn't growing as she should have, and I carried her until 33 weeks, and then preeclampsia struck, and then, you know, I had to deliver. And so now they want me to come in twice a week. I agreed to once a week because I just feel like the diagnosis is wrong. Like honestly, I just feel like within myself that is not accurate. The lady that did my ultrasound, the sonographer, I just feel like maybe she was new, maybe she didn't really know what she was doing. She came in and out the room about like 3 or 4 times and was like, oh, I forgot to get this, I forgot to get this, I forgot to get this. So that was kind of annoying. And then also when she got to the stomach area, like, so I've had so many ultrasounds by now. Now I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I've had so many ultrasounds by now, I can tell the baby's body parts. So when she got to the stomach, it just didn't seem like she got the actual whole stomach. And so I just feel like her measurements was off. She measured the baby's stomach about 10 times, and I'm not even exaggerating. So I was like, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe she wasn't comfortable with the number. She just wanted to double check over and over again. But I just feel like she didn't get a good picture of the baby's stomach. And my baby, this baby likes to hide a lot. So yes, he or she does move a lot, but they hide a lot also. And this baby is really long and really tall. And those growth scans can be accurate. Those growth scans can be off by up to 1 to 2 pounds, and they were never accurate for any of my other children. So I just really believe in my heart that this baby does not have any issues. I don't believe the baby has any issues, and I don't believe that I have any health issues that's keeping the baby from growing. I just think that I make small babies. Now, my biggest baby, Matthias, was 6 pounds and 11 ounces, and he was born at 39 weeks and 5 days. So he full-term baby. And that's the biggest that he was. My last baby, Kenzo, he was born at 40 weeks and 6 days. So almost, you know, 41 weeks. So past term, you know, and he was only 6 pounds. So when he was born, he was labeled as small for gestational age. And they did watch him for a little bit to take his blood sugars after birth and all of that. But because my milk came in, you know, like right away, I didn't have any issues with him putting the weight on once he was delivered. So when the doctor told me that I had IUGR for this pregnancy, then she said, oh, we'll try to get you to 37, 38 weeks, and then we'll induce you. And I'm like, induce who? Y'all not inducing me? And I had my sister Tanasia with me, and I didn't want to flip out, or, you know, if she wasn't with me, it would have went a different way. But I just tried to stay calm and cool and just taking, you know, the information and stuff. But like I said, I just believe I don't make big babies. You know, I'm not that big. Their dad's not that big. Our families are not big people. So yeah, but like I said, I agreed to the once weekly biophysical profiles and a non-stress test. I can do that, but 2 times a week is just too much. I have 3 other children that I have to take care of. Getting back up and forth to the hospital is a lot, and I just feel like, I mean, I understand they're there to do their job, to protect mom and baby and keep us all safe and be proactive. So I understand that and I get that, but I'm not gonna let them stress me out either, you know. And I just feel like because of my history, they're making it a bigger deal than what it needs to be. Like I said, I had no complications with Kenzo and with Matthias. And every time I did go to maternal fetal medicine, it was always something. Like with Matthias, they said he had pyloric stenosis. And then with Kenzo, they said he had a bright spot on his heart that may or may not heal up by the time he's born. It was just always something. Because I just feel like these ultrasounds, they really see a lot. They're really in-depth, you know, than what our moms and our grandmas had. So they can see so much more while the baby is, you know, cooking, while it's being made in the womb. And then sometimes I just feel like they overreact. Now I've gone into labor twice by myself, so I don't doubt that my body can do that, and that is my goal and my plan for this pregnancy. Now she said something about inducing, so I was like, do you mean a C-section or what? You know, because I am a VBAC. You know, I am attempting a VBAC. And so for my second and third birth, I remember them saying, you know, if you don't go into labor on your own, it has to be a repeat C-section because we cannot induce you because of the risk of uterine rupture. So that's not really a factor this time. I guess they're not counting that this time because I have given birth vaginally twice. But the doctor did say inducing. But I looked in through my chart, and my chart said, you know, we'll talk to the other doctors, and if they're not comfortable with inducing, then we'll schedule a repeat C-section. That was never talked to with me. I just, like I said, read that in my chart. So no, you know, I'm just really going to pray about it and just really trust God about it and just try not to let them get me worked up, because I feel like this happens every single time. And it's just like, it's not worth my energy getting worked up, you know. If the baby does really have an issue, so if I ever go to an appointment and they're like, you know, the blood flow is not what it needs to be, or your blood pressure is getting really high or whatever, then of course I would do what I need to do and allow them to induce and just all that stuff. But as of right now, everything is going well. And I'm just really doing my best to trust my body, to trust the baby, and to trust God and be like, you know, I prayed about it. I told him specifically exactly what I want to happen, how I want labor to start, how I want everything to go. And I know everything doesn't go to plan. Like my first birth went totally off the rails and did not go to plan at all. But, you know, we still made it. But like I was saying, I'm just going to do my best not to stress out about it, because honestly, that doesn't help me. It doesn't help the baby. You know, and I talked to my doula about it, which is my mom. And she's had, you know, 10 children. She was like, you know, you already know how they are. You already know how they do. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I just wish I didn't have to go through this stress at the end, you know, because sometimes providers can seem like they're real supportive in the beginning, like, oh yeah, we do VBACs, oh yeah, we do natural, you know, this, that, and another. And then when you get to the end, when you get to crunch time, where it's really time to, like, you know, like start preparing for these things, then all of a sudden, you know, people want to play games. And I did not like the lady's attitude that talked to me, the doctor at maternal fetal medicine. Like, I just felt like she just had like this nonchalant attitude. Like her phone rang and then she looked at it and then she was like, that's my kid's school. I don't know what they're calling for, but whatever. I'm like, how unprofessional is that? I'm your patient sitting right here. And, you know, and I have to remind myself often that I am the customer. Is that right? I am the customer and they work for me, not the other way around. So they can suggest things based off of their expertise, you know, based off of their education and their knowledge and things like that. But I'm an individual, you know, so don't treat me like all these other people. And, you know, and I do my research. I've done a lot of research on VBACs. I've done a lot of research on inductions, you know, because I am a doula myself. An elective induction is just not, that's just not me. Now, like I said, if the baby absolutely needs it or I absolutely need it, like I come in one day and the baby's just not doing well on the scans, or I come in and my blood pressure is really elevated, and, you know, and I'm close enough to my due date, then fine. You know, we can start with an induction and all of that. But I'm really going to stand my ground and be positive and just try not to stress that much about it. So I think that's all for this video. You know, it just came from the hospital. We did the biophysical profile. We did the what's the other thing? We did the NST. Baby looked good, fine, healthy, well, everything like that. And so I'll be going every week from now on, and my OB appointments are also going to be every week starting from next week. And then in 2 weeks I do have another growth scan. So when I hit 37 weeks, then I will have a follow-up growth scan, and then we'll kind of go from there. They'll schedule the induction, but, you know, I can always not show up. I can always not schedule it at all, or, you know, we'll see how things go. But hopefully everything goes well. And I will record the part 2 update, because, you know, there are some other things that happen at the end of the trimester, and hopefully I can get that video out before the birth vlog comes out. But if I can't, then you'll be getting them both pretty much at the same time. But that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me rant. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.